So this is the components of the coffin box cut out. I used an SVG from Dreaming Tree to create mine, but I know there's a lot of free files out there. The one from Dreaming Tree is a free file. I downloaded it a while ago. I just wanted to play with it a little bit. But I know Cricut has a free coffin box with the Cricut access, and I'm sure Silhouette or even a simple Google search is going to find some free coffin SVG files. The Dreaming Tree one is pretty easy to hand cut to. It comes with a PNG file that you can just print out. But for this one, you're going to notice an absence of the tree overlay for the top of the box. I did not do that on mine. I just wanted a pattern paper overlay. So I ended up cutting one of the smaller coffins for the bottom of the box to fit onto the top of the box, and it left a nice little border around the sides. That's up to you. It's just how I had planned it. But you're going to want to crease all of your edges, of course. I wanted my box a little thinner. I didn't want it to sit as high up. This measures almost 1¼ inches. I just wanted it to be about 1 inch tall. So this is longer than 12 inches. I just flipped it in half, grab your cutter, and I laid the tabs up at the 1 inch mark. Make sure everything is nicely lined up and run it through your cutter. You might not get it the first time, but at least you have a nice crease where you can take your scissors and cut along that edge. Now this is going to leave you with a box that it's about 1 inch thick. In the cut file, there's going to be 2 different components, and one is slightly smaller. You're going to be working with the larger component to glue your tabs. Make sure you crease everything really nicely before starting. And then this is going to be the large portion that starts here, and then you'll work your way around to finish. I'm using some... This is actually our glitter glue bottle, but I've refilled it with the Barely Art glue. I've been using a lot of that lately. It's nice because I live in a part of the country where you get a lot of snow and you can't get the glitter art glue delivered during the winter months because it's affected by weather. Temperature changes. So this is a really good glue at a decent price point as well. And I've been using that for a lot of my 3D projects. Just work your way around the box, making sure each tab is lined up before you start gluing the next one. And I'm just working quickly for tutorial purposes. Make sure that you're really taking your time when you're doing yours and getting nice even edges. And you can also see in my memory decks that I'll be showing you, I actually used a strip of paper around the outside because I wanted a little pattern paper showing through. And that's up to you. As you can see, this comes together quite quickly. Boom. You have the bottom of your box. Now take the smaller component and cover up the inside where you put those tabs. You're going to want to use a nice heavy-duty cardstock. For mine, I did not use the 110-pound cardstock because it's definitely made to fit a 12 by 12 scrapbooking paper. But this is a really good quality cardstock from Basil. I love their cardstock. It's a lot heavier weight. It's probably about 100-pound cardstock, maybe not quite the 110. But this is how it looks when you've got your base done. And then we'll move on to the top. And once again, make sure you're working with the slightly larger piece. And I'm gonna start, this is the bottom. Make sure it's nice and lined up. As you can see, we've got our coffin box. Boom, easy peasy. And once again, this is about 1 inch thick. And this box lid sits a little bigger. So you can absolutely put a strip of pattern paper around the sides if you wanted to. Now for the Memory Dex base, I created this in Design Space. It's really easy to do. All it is a Memory Dex card, cut it about 1 inch, and then I welded a 4.5 inch circle to the top of it. If you're hand cutting, you're just gonna wanna grab a 4.5 inch circle of some sort, and then all I do is grab my cutter, cut it at 1 inch. And then simply glue it on like this. I cut about 4 of these to make a really nice sturdy base for this. I did 2 in 110-pound cardstock. You won't see it here because I'm just doing a quick little tutorial. But I cut 2 of these in 110-pound, and then I did 2 in pattern paper so that I could get a front and back for my piece. And then I also cut the 4.5 inch circle, and you'll see that I cut it out of glitter cardstock. So it's about 5 layers deep. So you've got a really nice sturdy base to put your box on top of. So this is my finished product. I'm so excited about it. Because I'm not normally a Halloween crafter, I just really had to think outside the box for this project. It did not come naturally to me, and I couldn't be happier with the way that it turned out. So if you follow me on Instagram, you saw that I shared these embellishments this weekend when I came across some scrapbooking goodies that somebody had sent me many years ago. That's what actually kind of got this whole product underway. So I knew going into it that I did not want to spend a whole lot of money on this project. I happened to find the goodies that somebody had sent me, and that includes some of these cute little buttons that I used, just random embellishments. Thank you, whomever it was. I appreciate it. But really, I just used what was in my stash. The only money that I spent on this project, I picked up this paper pack from Target, and it has just 4 different kinds of paper in it, along with a stencil that I thought was kind of cute. And I'll use the rest of this paper pack. I'm going to craft for Halloween this year. But it's just got a few of these 4 different designs, perfect for small little Memory Dex projects like this. I only used 6x6 for it. You don't have to go crazy. The rest is cardstock, of course, that I had in my stash. And then I used some glitter cardstock. The skull is a Tim Holtz chipboard piece that I just glittered with some purple glitter. The spooky was a die cut that was sent to me by somebody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As well as this bat, these cute little buttons up here. The Spiderweb is a Design Space file that I cut out with some black glitter cardstock. The rosettes are Tim Holtz rosettes, and then I just backed this one with some eyelash trim. The bats that you see here are cut from pattern paper with a purple cardstock base, and these are the bats that are included with the Dreaming Tree file, and I did all 3 of those the same way. This ghost is a Cricut Design Space file that I cut out of pattern paper, and then I also backed it with some cardstock. Of course, this is the orange glitter base that I used. I thought it created like a really nice Halloween haunted graveyard scene. The tree is a Design Space file as well. And then this ribbon was included in some of the stash that somebody had gifted me, along with this cute little spider here. I created the bat bows in Design Space, and I made a whole bunch of those. I'll show you a few more of those in a minute. And then this 31 is also a Design Space file. Now, if you're participating in the Loaded Envelopes Galore and More swap, you're going to be required to do a couple of these broom embellishments for the inside to send to your partner. These are just a couple examples of what I made. You're only going to be required to swap 2. However, in the stash of goodies that I found, somebody had made me this. Aren't they adorable? This one uses the crepe paper. I don't know who created this. If you're that person and you're watching, let me know. Thank you. But she had used straws and some crepe paper. This was included in what she had given me. They're adorable, yeah, but those are some examples of the brooms. Mine, I just used a dowel and some fringe trim. You could use a hand-cut fringe, or there's some great dies. I know Holly Miller sent me a great fringe die to use in my Sizzix, and you're pretty much just making a tassel and sticking a dowel or a straw or whatever in the center of it. I did kind of create my fringes a little smaller at the top, just as a decorative element. I added some eyelash trim. Shara Crane is the person that I kind of modeled mine after. And then I put one of these bat bows on top to decorate it. And I was actually thinking about going in with maybe some iridescent trim of some sort and kind of wrapping around the base of the dowels as well. And then I used eyelash trim in the broom portion of this one too. So you're going to have to make 2 of those for the swap. And then I do have some of the bat bows that I created that I haven't used. I was just going to show you these real quick. It's just 2 layered bows with a bat in the center, and then I wrapped the inside of this bow with some embroidery floss. But I just thought these turned out really, really cute. So thank you for watching. Head over to the Loaded Envelopes Galore and More Facebook group and sign up for what I hope is going to be a really fun swap. This is my first attempt at Halloween in quite some time, so be gentle. But I can't wait to see what you create. I can't wait to see your spooky haunted graveyard scene. So catch me in the next video. Bye.